Okay, everybody ready? Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Virginia City Council Chambers. This is a special Committee of the Whole meeting. Call this meeting to order. Today's date is Monday, November 28th, 2022. The time is 9 a.m. We have 5 items on the agenda today, all related to personnel matters. There's an indication we may have to go into closed session for a time, but we'll turn the agenda over to our City Administrator, Britt C. Bennis. Britt?
Thank you. The first item on the agenda is a recommendation from the interview committee for the deputy fire chief.
And of course, at this meeting, it's a special meeting, we can take action and vote for on any of these items based on recommendations from the council. So the interview committee, do you have any information that you want to disseminate? Any further comments about the recommendation for the new fire chief, deputy fire chief? Councilor Johnson?
Thank you, Mayor. All 3 candidates were extremely highly qualified, and the committee is confident that as backfill happens, people will take new roles, and we will continue to have an excellent fire service. And with that being said, I will make a motion to hire Eric Jonason as the full-time deputy fire chief.
A motion by Councilor Johnson, who served on the interview committee, making the recommendation by a motion to appoint the deputy fire chief addition to Mr. Jonason, Eric Jonason. Is there support?
Support.
A support by Councilor Freelieb. So it has been moved and supported to offer the position of deputy chief to Eric Jonason. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Beyondich.
Thank you. Sitting on this committee, it was very difficult. We did talk about it quite a bit, but I think we all agreed on the same person for the candidate for the deputy fire chief. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Councilor Beyondich. So it has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Congratulations to Eric Jonason and the other 2 applicants for the deputy fire chief position. So we welcome on board. Chief is here in the background. Everything's good? Okay, thank you. Anything you'd like to offer before we move on to the next item on the agenda? Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. Britt?
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is discuss the 1-year appointment to the Range Area Municipalities and Schools, or RAMS, Board of Directors for the term ending 12/31/23.
And as we all know, well, I'll just hold my comments in abeyance. Councilor Bearable.
Yeah, being that I am the outgoing RAMS representative since I was not reelected for the upcoming, that means we need to appoint somebody new here. And I would like to make a motion right off the bat to recommend that we appoint my alternate that has been there at a number of the meetings, Mr. Gary Freelieb, to replace me in that position as a full-time RAMS representative from the city of Virginia. Thank you.
Support.
Moved by Councilor Bearable, supported by Councilor Johnson, to appoint Councilor Freelieb as the council representative on the Range Association of Municipality School, RAMS. Is there any other discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And now we're looking for an alternate.
Alternate, that's correct. And that is wide open. I'll let the council decide on that. I'm not going to recommend anybody for that position. It's up to the council.
Okay, I know this, we're all busy. We all have a lot of committees and commissions we sit on. Some of us are still gainfully and fully employed and have families they have to deal with. So it just as in the ARDC appointment, that's only once every couple months or so. I wouldn't have a problem serving as the alternate on behalf of RAMS for Councilor Freelieb, unless there's another volunteer they would like to serve.
So moved.
Moved by Counselor Johnson in a hurry. Is there support?
Support.
A support by Counselor Paulson. Is there any further discussion?
Just one thing, just.
Please do.
If members of the council don't know, they meet every fourth Thursday of the month, and they meet from 6 o'clock at night until whenever they're done. There's finance, if you belong to the finance committee, which I did, that meets at 5:30 to go over all the finances for Rams each month. So that's the time schedule. And then they have some special meetings also. The mayor knows about those, so.
Sure. Okay. Well, thank you, Counselor Baraboo. So it has been moved and supported to appoint Larry Cuffey, the alternate for the Rams Board of Directors, term ending 12/31/2023. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Can I vote for myself? Or vote against myself? All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is just a discussion I want to have with the council regarding the community development planner position. We had conducted interviews. The person that we offered the job to did turn it down. So I just need some direction. Do you want me to continue just trying to seek the way that it is? Do you want me to change it? There was preliminary discussion about MAPE looking at putting the job into their union rather than AFSCME. So before I go farther and trying to repost this, I just want to make sure that we all are looking at the same thing. I did print off some current job postings, and we're right in line with what a lot of other cities are paying. Some, of course, are higher, some are closer, lower, but we're right in the middle of what we're offering.
Yeah, thank you, Britt. So I'll just make a quick comment, then we'll go around the room. I've always thought that, my thoughts that this, I know we went back and forth. I would like to see this being a May position because it's a direct report to our city administrator. There's no buffer in between. But this is my personal opinion moving forward. I think we should post for another community development planner, but we should decide in which direction we want to go in that regard. So those are my comments. Councillor Paulson.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask, of the candidates, how many candidates were there that were interviewed? And I'm sorry, Britt.
We received 5 applications and 3 candidates were interviewed.
3 candidates interviewed?
Yes.
Okay, and then of the other, I would say 2 then, were their qualifications acceptable?
Yes, but we did conduct 2 rounds of interviews, and one dropped off the first round. So the second round was 2 candidates, and it just didn't seem like there was a personality fit or a goal, that our goals were not the same.
Okay, so you're recommending though is then to repost?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And I also would agree with you, Mayor. I feel like this is more suitable for a MAPE position. This position does have an assistant, is that, or
Correct.
So,
The administrative
I
assistant.
feel like that kind of leads it into a supervisory type situation. That's just my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Paulson. Anybody else over on my left side? First, Councillor Baraboo.
Yeah, I had brought up when I originally started this process that I thought it was a position that should belong to MAPE also. So I'm still under that auspice as if we have a candidate that might be interested in going that direction, and if we have the qualifications, Brett, that would be suitable for that individual to be in that. And I think it is from what I can read into the position. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Freely, did you have something?
Yeah, I would concur, based on the minimum qualifications being a bachelor's degree and or a master's degree. I think that's conducive to the type of position that we're looking for, or the person we're looking for. We did have essentially the perfect person in place that came back to his hometown. What a loss that was. But to look to somebody that would be able to invest themselves in the city as John had done would be our goal for sure. So yeah, I would be certainly favorable towards considering this a MAPE position that would join the administrative team as opposed to an AFSCME position.
Thank you, Councillor Freely. Councillor Johnson.
So do we then need to revisit the job description so that it more accurately reflects that potential supervisory task that we're looking for. I will move then to direct staff to revisit and revise this job description to more accurately reflect the needs of the administration and bring it back for approval.
Okay, thank you, Counselor Johnson. Moved by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Of course, we're just discussing the planner position moving forward, so we hope information that's gleaned or direction from us to staff will be brought back for our approval and review. Counselor Paulson.
Thank you, Mayor. Two quick thoughts. By moving this, or as we move forward with, staff bringing the job description into alignment with MAPE, my one question that I had on that specific is, would that increase in the salary if we move it into MAPE? Would that fall into a revisit of the salary? The salary would be $75,650 annually, but then we'd have to go on to the MAPE matrix, is that correct? And so then you would kind of come back to us with that?
Yeah, if it changes so drastically, we feel that it needs an adjustment in wage, we would come back with that recommendation too. A lot of it, if you recall with the lead recreation assistants, was the action words we need to put in there, the directs, supervises, delegates,
Yep.
those kind of things.
And so then would it need to change from the community development planner to more of a, like in here, there's coordinator, director, maybe one of those?
That would probably be more appropriate.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm sure you'll work on that. The other thought that I had, and I don't want to open up a can of worms, but if we cannot find any candidates, would this be something that could be considered for a contract basis? Not that I necessarily want to do that, but if we can't, I know this position is sorely needed, and there's a lot going on right now. So when you bring that back, what's our time frame in terms of trying to get this out there and interview?
Relatively soon. I'd really like to get it done very quickly.
Okay,
Yeah, and posted before Christmas if possible, so a
Okay.
couple weeks to get
Okay.
this done.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Paulson. So it has been moved and supported to direct staff to adjust the job description and maybe come up with some recommendations about the bargaining unit for which this position will come forward with, and come back to this council with their recommendations, some additional information for us to review and give final approval for. So it has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Baraboo.
Just, Britt, can we get this revision and job description by the first council meeting in December, which is, more than 2 weeks from now? Okay.
Thank you, Councilor Baraboo. So it has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next item on the agenda is a closed session for preliminary consideration of allegations against an individual subject to the council authority under Minnesota Statute 13D05 Subdivision 3.
Okay, looking for council action to move into closed session regarding item 4 on the agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Councilor Beyondich, supported by Councilor Baraboo. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. We now enter into closed session.